What's up, everybody? I'm Ricey, and welcome to 3.22, where we have some C1s floating in the air of Orison. Anyways, gotta love Star Citizen. Gotta love it. But today, we're going to talk about the latest, the greatest salvage updates. I did a small video on the 3.22 EPTU, but now it is in the PTU, or in the PU, sorry, it is in the persistent universe. It is available now. So let's check out, today we're going to check out the Vulture. I'm going to do another video in a couple more days for the Reclaimer, and then after a week or so of me doing some research, I'm going to try to get y'all some new numbers of the Abrade versus the Cinch and all of that stuff. So today, with today's loadout, let me pull up my Vulture. I need to claim my Vulture. Give me a minute. Alright, so before we get out and get a job or two done, so we can just kind of see what we're dealing with now, I just want to show you my loadout of how I like to run it. I have not put any new systems in it. I will eventually upgrade all these to better systems. Quantum Drive will be an Atlas, by the way. Makes it a lot easier to get across. But right here is where I change things. I like to have in the third and fourth, or the second and fourth slot, the second and fourth slot, I put in a Abrade. In the first and third slot, in the first slot, I'll put the tractor module. In the third slot, I will put the Cinch. I mostly just use the Abrades. That might change once I do some new math and see if it's worth using the Cinch now in 3.22. It used to not be worth the time to sit down and use the Cinch, but it might be now if you get a lot of money. But at the same time, we got a lot of new stuff with the whole munching. So let's head down to Hangar 5. That's not... Why is it taking forever? Come on. Spam the elevator. Hangar 5. We're gonna go jump in the Vulture. You can either go in the back here and then go up the ladder, which is what we're gonna do, or there is an exit on the other side. All right. Getting our pilot seat. We're gonna pull up a contract. I'm gonna fly to that contract so y'all don't have to worry about watching me fly. You'll always get one contract right off the bat with any new, update or whatever. And then you have to just do jobs to get bigger contracts. Salvage. I am in the Crusader area, so I want to probably try to find one. This is going to be our closest one right here. Crew L5. It's going to be a cutter. We could also do an Avenger Titan. We can do a Vulture, or we can do another Avenger Titan. I'm not too worried about cargo at the smaller ships or anything like that, so let's just take this. Now I'm going to fly out there. Y'all don't have to watch me do all that. And when I get there at the site, we will do some salvaging. All right, we're rolling up on our first salvage job. This is, like I said, it kind of gives you 4 base ones to start with. They only cost 1,000, so if you already have a Vulture in your fleet, or if you just got one in game, I think they're 1.2 million-ish in game, so they're not too bad. You only need 1,000 to get started. You can use the base setup, even if you want to trade out those Abrade modules and stuff. They're actually really cheap. Alright, so first thing I always do when I roll up on a claim, turn your lights on, which I do believe I feel like they beefed up the lights on the Vulture. you want to press V. I'll bring up this screen. Maybe you've never seen it before. And you're going to hold the right mouse button. You're going to scan it. Sometimes it's a little finicky and you have to like move close and try to scan again and move a little closer, try to scan again. All I'm doing, we're seeing what it has in it. So all the way to the right there, you can see it's carrying some tungsten ore, some aluminum ore, and some iron ore. Those are pretty much garbage. So first things first, what you want to do, M. We're going to just kind of get in a good spot. We're a little close right there. And we hit it. That's what I was trying not to do. So I'm going to hopefully get that rotation stopped by using the tractor beam. It's a nice addition of the tractor beam. Now you can only use that on smaller ships. It does have a weight limit. I'm going to switch over to my abrades. And then if you see all the HUD here in the top left and the top right, right under my screens, we have what modules you're on. Also in the middle there, you see we have the salvage heads of what's going on. And we'll get, so we have head left, head right, fracturing, and I don't remember the word on dis. There's a word there, but it's, what is it? I have to look at it. All right, disintegration. I should have known that. Disintegration. Anyways. So you can turn these off individually if you hold Alt, your left Alt, and then A. It'll turn off the right one. D. So like, all right, so before we get started, I kind of want to talk the HUD real quick for those of you who might be new to salvaging. We have up in the top left and the top right, right below your screens, you have the modules, which you can have set up on your controllers however you want. For the base game, just it's a right mouse click, we'll change it. You can see now it's highlighting the cinch in the left and the tractor in the right. If I click it again, now it's on the abrades. So it slightly highlights those. Tells you the diameter, the speed, and the efficiency of those things. While the tractor module gives you the max range, the max force, and the max angle. In the middle, we have head left, head right, fracturing, and disintegrate. So if I just want, say, the tractor beam, I'm going to hold the left Alt on the keyboard, and I'm going to press D. D as in dog, and that is going to only turn on that one right there. And then this works like a regular handheld tractor beam. You hold R, you can rotate it, which we will do here in a little bit. It's super nice, so you don't have to sit there and float around. Now you can only do this, like I said, with smaller ships. So that is R that's doing that. I'm gonna get that kind of somewhat back. And turn that back off with the left click. If I just say want the left side, and you can see how that it also highlights on your screen differently. We're going to do the same thing. Now you'll notice that that side is only working. If I want both, Alt S turns on both. But since that one's, since I got them off, we're going to make sure that I select them back. Now, to do the other modes, we're going to hold Alt and then W. that's going to turn on fracture field. And then we also have this disintegration field with the right click. So let's get back to the heads by doing Alt-S. Now that we have that, we're going to go gimbal mode with G. See, now this moves around with my mouse. Beautiful. I'm going to move up here a little bit. We're going to start up here. I'm going to make sure I'm on the abrades. And I'm just going to scrap this thing. And what's really cool that they've added is this buffer zone. If you look over here on the right hand side, of course right now it's not working. No, it's working, it's just working very slowly. So we've already should have gotten more scrap at this point. I don't know. This is easily a server bug. If this is happening to you, what I would suggest is swapping servers. So we should be getting way more scrap than this. We should at least get a full box of recycled material from a cutter or any of the smaller ships. A full box or 2, sometimes 3, and that's using the abrades. And this is where you could, if you wanted to, you can either fly around the ship, or you can use the tractor beam to rotate it like I showed you. I'm still not great with the tractor beam because it's new. If you're going to fly around like I did, you need to make sure you turn gimbal mode off. I do feel like I should be getting more. But as long as we get 1, we're going to make a profit. And they're constantly changing things. That's why we're going to do that's why we're going to do a video of like abrade versus cinch versus trawler in the future as well. Already done 1, but that's old. This actually might be about what we're supposed to get with the abrades on the cutter. And if you notice up the top, that little meter's slowly going away. And it says it's done. But we're not done with this. We can try to get a little bit more, maybe. But let's not worry about that. Let's do fracturing mode. So once again, that's left Alt and W. It's going to make this. If you're looking at the Drake cutter there, it shows that it's green, that means we're close enough. And then we're gonna have, it has 2 SCU of construction material. So you don't have to hold or anything right here. Click the left mouse button, it's gonna spool up. It's going to break into parts. Now those numbers have changed a little bit, and they do. And you'll see at this point, that's when like the stuff will go out. So we're going to switch over to the disintegration mode, which I've already done by right-clicking, or right-clicking, my bad, right-clicking. I probably said that wrong earlier. Right-clicking changes between modes. Left-clicking activates. So all we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. Left-click, and you can see all of them. Luckily, these are all close enough together. We're going to get them all at once. Zoop, zoop. And there we go. Now there's a couple of like little pieces out here. Like I said, some of these were the, oh, those got pulled up really fast. You can't, sadly you can't disintegrate those. I wish you could. But there we go. Let's turn off mining mode. If you notice that we had 4.2 SCU waiting for us. So another thing you can do when you first get to these ships is you can properly fully scrap. You can take the guns off and load them up. You can take the components out if you can find the components. So like in the cutter, they're pretty easy to find. And you can do... you can take all those extra components out, and then you can also sell those. While you can do that and make a little bit of money, then you have to go more places to sell everything. So it's kind of up to you on how you want to do that. But you will make a little bit more money doing that. And it's a little bit more roleplay wise of that. So we've come downstairs. We've come back to the processing room. This room hasn't changed for us. It has changed in the reclaimer. We'll show that in another video. But you can make your salvage tools right here still if you want to. Make sure you have a salvage tool. If not, hopefully you have enough recycled material to make one now. To do that, you would hold F, hit craft, and it tells you exactly what you need here for each one. And they're pretty cheap to make. So you can make the multi-tool, and you need the tractor beam, craft, and it'll print it, and then you have what you need to actually move these boxes. I have one. So right here we can see that we have 3 SCU of construction materials and 1 SCU of recycled material. We're going to hit eject on the recycled material. It doesn't matter which one you do. And I'm also going to click auto eject. It's going to make the little box. It's going to spit it out. And there's our first box of recycled material. That's the only box we're going to get. Move that over off to the grid. Boom. Now we need to switch over to construction materials because we can't make another box of that. I already have auto eject on. We should get 3 of these boxes. And just like that, it makes them super fast. What's really cool about the buffer system is before, most of us would, in the salvaging, would take this little bitty place back here and we would fill it up, the 12 boxes here, then we put 6 more boxes here, and then we do 4 more boxes here, and then try to do 2 more boxes here. I mean, we would try to put 24 boxes back here, and I'd still would before I go sell normally. But not only can you do that now, you can also fill up this buffer and then have another 13 boxes waiting in queue. So you can go sell everything, come out to your ship, and then pull all those out of your buffer into the cargo grid, and then go sell again. So you can spend more time out and about salvaging without having to worry about it. So after you've done your initial mission, you can stay out salvaging, which is what I would do on a normal play session. By going here, going to your salvage. Look at this. I have 18 now. I'm in crew L5. So I'm already in crew L5. There's a vulture. Sweet. Maybe while we get that. Costs 5,000. Not bad. We already unlocked some of the $20,000 ones. There's a cutlass right here. We have... I'm looking for more crew L5. No? There's one. It's a redeemer. Might go do the redeemer, maybe. Yep, let's go grab, so this is a $20,000 one. And then after doing maybe 2 of the 20,000, you might unlock the other ones. I don't know exactly, because there hasn't been a wipe, like a full wipe in a long time. I don't know exactly how, like, it works fully through on how many jobs it's going to take to unlock the bigger levels. And my goal is to always try to not necessarily... So the Redeemer's not going to have a cargo hold. So normally I wouldn't go for that. The Vulture would be a decent one to go after, but it's a lower cost. It's only a 5,000 on the Vultures. So a lot of times you won't get good quality salvage out of them. The raft tends to be broken. So just a heads up there. While it does have a decent amount of cargo space, sometimes the cargo is broken. The Cutlass is usually a decent one to go after in the $20,000 range. And I want to say you can get MSRs in the $20,000 range as well too. The problem is when you're going to start running in with those, you're going to have... You might want to take a cargo ship out first, clear any cargo off, clear any guns off, stuff like that, whatever you want to do first, then go back out with the Vulture. Because you're not going to have the room to do all of it in one go in a Vulture. A Reclaimer, on the other hand, is different. But with the Reclaimer, you have the issue of it being really hard to load stuff into it. So I'm going to fly out here. I'm going to scrap it real fast so I can get some more salvage. And then I'm going to show you where to go sell it. So y'all have already seen the salvage process. Super easy. I'm going to just go kind of fill up my hold so we can see what it looks like when we go sell. And we're going to have to sell to two places. We're going to have to sell to the normal sell, the TDD, and we're also going to have to sell to the admin. But we can do that in Orison, or we can do that in Hurston, or we can do that in Art Court, Area 18, or New Babbage. So you could do that in any of the major cities. So I will be back after that. All right, one quick thing I want to mention while I'm salvaging this is if you notice, the beams are kind of separate. If you hold the left alt again and you pull your mouse wheel towards you, you can consolidate those beams into one spot to where they're salvaging the same spot. If you go away from you, you'll spread them out. You can also make them go up and down as well, away from each other. I like to keep mine in a spot. That way they're hitting the same spot. That way you get a little bit more I guess speed increase would be the best way to say it. But to each their own on that. Anyways, once again, I'll be back. Alright, so I've scraped it. I got quite a bit of SU of recycled material out of that, more than I thought. But I only have, enough for 4 more SCU. So before I actually break it apart, because I know I have the cargo space, I want to go ahead and unload it, and that way that buffer can fill up with all the RMC we're about, or the construction materials that we're about to get. So same thing back here, hit eject, and we're gonna fill this up, and then I'm gonna break it up, and then we'll see how much of it I can actually unload into the whole cargo bay here. Because I mean, I wasn't expecting 9. We've paid 20,000 for that. The 9 recycled materials. That's gonna get us about 65,000 ish, a little bit more. And then I don't know what the final number is on the construction ones were. They were doing like 12.5. So we're gonna make a decent amount for not a lot of time here. So I'm gonna, like I said, unload all these. I'm gonna break it apart. I'm gonna pull it all in, and we'll see what we get from there. So I'll be back when I'm back in the captain's chair and breaking it into pieces. All right, and like I said, we filled it up. I'm actually gonna start stacking here. We're gonna fill this thing up because we're gonna probably need it. We might even need a little bit of that buffer too, which is fine. So we'll just have to make a couple of trips if we do that. when we go sell. If it all fits in there, even better for one trip. But as a solo player who doesn't have a lot of time or something, this is a great way to do this. So now, once again, Alt W, turn on fracturing mode. Sure we get close enough. There we go. So this actually says 16 SCU already. We're not going to have enough room for that. So when it fractures, I'm going to take the bits and bobs, the little pieces first before I take the big piece. Then I'll go unload those, and then I will do the big piece last. That way we can get at least the most out of it that we can. That's where the reclaimer will come in handy, because you don't have to worry about it. You can just pull it up. But the reclaimer is a big ship. Broke into a bunch of little pieces, didn't it? Okay. So we want to go, like I said, after these little ones first. That one's 14. I don't want to do that one. Up all this little some of these things can't be picked up. It's fine. I don't want that one. Not yet. And it'll tell you over here, like, if it exceeds. So, like, right there, it says target and fields exceed limit. Really trying to get that piece right there. I don't want that piece right now. Some of these little pieces we might not be able to get, like the missile racks and stuff. You can pick those up on your own, like if you really want them. Okay. Turn it off. Gonna unload those two. As much of that we can get out of there. Some, like I said, some of that's RMC that we can't empty out. I wish you could kind of eject a little bit of that. That'd be nice. That way we didn't have the overflow. So we have 2.4. So, and then we'll just fill up the rest with construction material. And then what we have to leave behind, we have to leave behind. Well, you don't leave it behind, you just kind of lose it. It gets real jumpy when you don't lock it to the grid. So this is the downside of doing the medium-sized ships in a Vulture. You're gonna lose a little bit of that RMC or construction materials. but we'll be able to get the majority of it. We do have 0.7 in here out of 13. That means we can get like 12 more SU, which is going to be still good to do. You don't want to just leave this behind because you won't be able to find this again. It doesn't mark it. Filler station full. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and empty out what we can. I'm not going to do too much because there's not... We're going to have to make 2 trips either way we look at this. So I'm just going to take what I can. Just kind of show you how you can fill this up pretty generously. And I've showed this in past videos with just the RMC. Come on. And just slowly let them pop out here. Oh, come on. Well, that one glitched. Okay. Alright, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave that. And then we'll go sell. So I'm gonna head back to Orison where we first started. I'm going to head to the TDD first, sell the recycled material, and then I'll head over to the admin. Actually, yeah. Then I'll head over to the admin. Then I'll sell, and then I'll come back. I'll unload back in the hangar. And then I'll go back to the admin and sell again. I'll get y'all the total number. I'll let y'all see every single step there. And then see how much we made. So we've only spent 30,000. Or no, 21,000. Because it was just the initial 1,000 that we had to do, and then it was the $20,000 job. So $21,000 is all we've spent. We have definitely already made that back plus. So I'll be back in just a minute. All right, the first thing I do when I get back into my place of selling is I always store it, just because that's what I do. And with that, now we're going to head over to the TDD first, which is going to be on the first platform that you come into at Orison. There's our beautiful C1 that's still messed up. It's not our C1. That's not our C1. So we'll take I think it's the cloud view, and then we will go over to Providence, and we will go to the admin. Now, while we're walking over there to do some quick stuff, I do want to talk about right now, This is as in, this is December of 2023, December 15th of when I'm actually recording this. Up until, sorry, I had to cut for a second. So what I was saying, right now until the January 8th, 2024, they are doing a referral bonus into Star Citizen. So if you have not bought Star Citizen yet and you are looking into getting into it, right now is the perfect time. There's lots of ships that are on sale, a lot of starter ships. For example, the Aurora, which is the starter ship that I started with, which is the starter ship a lot of people started with, and it's actually how I got into this game originally. Was I bought the Aurora holiday pack, and it comes with the Aurora, the base game, and it gets you into the game to be able to fly and play and check out the game. Now, if you do that, when you create your account, you'll want to do a referral, and you put in, I'm going to say my code, because I'd like for you to put in my code, because I'm also going to benefit off of this, but we'll both benefit off of this like crazy. You'll put in my code, you'll get it after a few weeks, I believe, just because you're a new player. But what you will receive, and I'll put a picture up here so you can see the whole thing. You'll receive the Avis Talon armor set, which is the helmet, legs, armor core, which is a really cool set. You'll receive one light undersuit in a teal color. You'll receive the real Quicksilver backpack. You see it back there on the wall. You'll get the FS9 Evergreen LMG. One of my favorite guns, if not my favorite gun in the game, is the FS9 LMG. You get a multi-tool plus attachments, which you need for the ability to do the salvaging stuff that we're doing right now. But you also get the mining, the tractor beam, and the healing attachment on all of those. You'll get a Gemini LH86 pistol. You'll get a Sawtooth Squall combat knife, and you'll get the Luminalia Icebreak RSI Aurora paint. So if you bought the Aurora pack, which, like I said, is the cheapest pack you can get right now, you'll also get a really cool paint. The Icebreak is a white and blue paint. Beautiful paints. And also right now, during the days of Luminalia, or is that how you, Luminalia maybe? They're doing 12 days of giving. So every day you go click on these days and you get more stuff just to add permanently to your account. So it is a great time to get involved into Star Citizen and actually enjoy the game. So make sure you do that. You use my referral code. That way I get a very similar set. I think the only difference is the one that y'all receive is green. The one I receive is red. Now I can only get it once. So the first person who does this actually is able to be the one that I'm able to receive it. But anybody that uses that referral code afterwards, y'all get it. So even if I've already received it, y'all will still get it. I don't get multiple copies, but y'all will still get y'all's. So anyways, into the commodity shop. Hopefully you kind of saw where I was going for the TDD. We're going to select our vulture here. And look at that. Cannot sell. You notice that? It says that right there. No demand. Okay, so when there's no demand, because everybody's doing it right now, you gotta wait a little bit. So while we wait, hopefully I can sell that construction materials. Otherwise, I might just have to chill and wait. And I don't know if that price is the same price. That price looks different. So I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to kind of refresh this from every 5 minutes or so until it says I can sell it. But everybody's doing this right now. It's very popular. So it will kind of be like this for a little bit, and then it'll slowly taper back off and people will move away from it. But you can kind of see now, like I said, you can't get the construction materials over here. No demand for the recycled material composite. Now that is for Orison. You can fly to Lorville. You can fly to Area 18. You can fly to New Babbage. You might have better luck selling at those places. A lot of people like to start off and chill in Orison. That's where I happen to be right now. It might not be the best move right now for that. Might need to sell somewhere else. So keep that in mind. If you know of Microtech, New Babbage tends to be further off. A lot of people don't like to work out in that direction because of how far away it is from everything else. But it might be easier to sell things there just because less people go out that direction. So I'm going to chill until I get this recycled material composite sold. And once I get it sold, I will pull that up so y'all can see it. All right, they got very high inventory. I'm going to try to sell this already. We are seeing 120,000, so they've raised that price to 13,400, which is really cool. I'm going to see if I can hopefully sell both of these. Sweet. So $133,000 roughly, maybe $134,000 is what we're going to write down. That way we just get a good little number there. So that was just the recycled material. We have now a lot of construction material to sell still. This is common to see. I didn't have to wait that long. Like I said, I think it was less than 5 minutes. And I just kind of chilled for a little bit and I waited and I would pull it up here a little bit and it would pop back up. It's common to see when something new drops or when they change things out. It's common to see everybody doing that game loop. So salvaging is not new, but it's updated. It's new as of 2023, but it's updated multiple times this year. And every time the first, I feel, few weeks of things getting settled in and stuff, you get a lot of people doing it. It makes it hard to sell. Once a lot of people pull away from it because they're like, well, that's not really the game loop I enjoy. I'd rather do bounty hunting or mining or this or that or whatever, they start dropping off the salvage. So at first, if this is something you're super interested in doing, it might be a little rough waiting on things to sell. But that's with any game loop that you're doing anything, any type of cargo hauling or cargo selling. It just goes that way sometimes. Patience. So I jumped back in the same one we came in on because now we need to go over to the Providence platform. This is where the admin is. And I'm not 100%, but I do believe you can sell the construction material at any admin. There might be only certain ones that you can do, but I think you can do it at any admin across Stanton, which makes it probably a little bit easier to get
next station.
That sold. So we could have landed at like Seraphim instead of here to do that. But since I had both recycled and
The shuttle is
construction materials, I wanted to come on down here. So to get to the admin, we're going to go right this way. I believe I can sneak in right here. Yeah, hopefully you caught that. And here's the admin. There's a person selling some RC. It's probably some construction material as well.
I recommend consulting the terminal.
Select our vulture again. Look at that. Okay, so they've lowered the construction materials versus the RMC. So that's where it still kind of plays out about the same. I didn't know, like I said, the full amount that they're going to do. So they're 6,000 a unit.
Please ignore the
So that's
container warning on
18,000.
703BR. We're looking into the faulty sensor now.
It's another 60,000, so that's 78,000 on that one. Now we got to go empty out the rest of the grid. So I'm going to run back to the space station.
The shuttle is
Once
preparing
again.
to depart.
We just lost it. I'm going to run back over there, I should be able to just get to the hangar. Once I get to the hangar, I'll kind of pop back in because we're going to test to make sure you can use the tractor beam in the hangar. I believe you can. If not, we're going to have to get out of the armistice zone, which can get frustrating. But I don't think we have to.
Last call for passengers.
So I'll be back. All right, I'm back in the hangar. Let's see what we can do. So I didn't sell that one, weirdly enough, but look at that. We can pick that up. Oh, that probably ejected because it was on auto eject. So yeah, we can sit here, we can work in the hangar, which is going to be very nice. And so once we get persistent hangars and freight elevators, you'll be able to do all this in one go. You'll be able to unload everything towards the freight elevator and then, or whatever you need to do, into the persistent hangar. And then you can go ahead and eject everything all at once. And just keep working. Let's turn the lights on in here. Is that it? Oh, I guess that was it. 3 more, or 4 more. So it's going to be another... Those are 6 apiece, so that'll be another 24,000. So I'm just going to go and call that 24,000. Don't need to go watch me sell all that again. Y'all saw where to go. So, all over, we spent $21,000 and we made $236,000. And I did this roughly in time recording so far is 1 hour and 45 minutes. But I was not 100% like going from place to place to place to place. I was playing around. I was taking screenshots. I was having fun. So you don't, so maybe, you know, probably at least 100, you know, 150 an hour is what you're going to make in the Vulture. You might be a little bit better than that. You might be a little faster than that. You can obviously just go up to these and get the construction materials out of them if you want, and that's all you do. You don't have to worry about scraping. But as you saw, the recycled material from scraping sells for more. It sells a little bit more than double than the actual construction material. So with that, I would always suggest scraping. And hopefully I answered all the questions you need for salvaging. Like I said, really all you need is a multi-tool. And even if you don't have that, you can make it in your Vulture. So if you have a Vulture or Reclaimer and you're looking to start salvaging away, here's your chance. If you've already been doing this for a while and you're just kind of seeing what my opinions are on all this, there you go. My opinion is use the Abrade. I'll do a more in-depth video again for that. I have an older one, but it was 319. So things have changed a lot in salvaging since then. And I will be doing a video on the Reclaimer as well. So this was just the Vulture. I'll also do the Reclaimer. We'll see some bigger ships and see how the Reclaimer works a little bit more and show that you can make a lot of money with the Reclaimer. A lot of money. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any more questions maybe I missed, throw them down in the comments. If you have any tips of your own, also throw them down in the comments. Make sure you put a big old thumbs up on it if you liked it. Make sure you subscribed if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.